Reality is like a hot girl. The more you chase her, desperate for her validation, the more she eludes you. But when you're calm, confident, and show intention without being needy, all of a sudden, you're all she can think about. You felt some version of that before, haven't you? That frustrating paradox where the harder you try to make something happen, the further it drifts out of your reach. And it's like you've begged and pleaded with the universe to deliver to you your manifestations, and the more you prayed, the louder the silence became. Why does it work like that? Like, why does reality feel like this game you can't figure out? Answer: it's because you haven't mastered the art of transurfing. About 6 months ago, I did a full breakdown of the book Reality Transurfing. That's how many of you found me. And if you've been watching my videos every week, you know that conscious entrepreneurs hire me to eradicate the revenue blocks and scale their income. And maybe you've wondered, why would entrepreneurs hire me? It's because everything is connected. Reality is a game of frequency, and you will never outwork a weak vibration. So that's why I'm bringing back Reality Transurfing in this video, because when you master the principles in this book, you unlock the cheat codes to seeing through reality clearly. So believe me when I tell you, this isn't just about your business goals. This is about your entire experience of the simulation itself. And if you want to bend reality in real time, then lock in, or else the maze of manifestation will swallow you whole and keep you trapped forever. Now, let's back up for a second. What is the maze of manifestation? It's the experience I described earlier, where no matter what you do or how hard you try, you can't seem to get to where you want to go. Every time you ask for something more, you turn the corner and there's another wall towering over you. You ask for more clients, another wall appears. You ask for love, another wall appears. You ask for the discipline to manifest your goals, another wall appears. And this entire cycle of hitting wall after wall after wall makes you feel like you're not good enough. You get anxious because you see other people manifesting success while you're still struggling. You witness others reaching the next level, and you compulsively think you're doing something wrong. You keep sinking into lower frequencies, frustrated, worried that you're out of time, and that you're not valuable enough for love, acknowledgement, success, or any other manifestation. But here's the truth. You're actually one step away from a breakthrough. You just don't realize it yet. You're close to unlocking the path for yourself that holds more abundance, creativity, and flow than you can imagine. But until you shift your perspective, you'll stay stuck in frequencies of mediocrity. I want you to think about a baby playing with blocks. The baby tries its hardest to fit a square block into a round hole, forcing it in, trying again and again, but it just doesn't fit. Now, if the baby had an aligned perspective, it would realize that there's a square hole next to the round hole and effortlessly place the block where it belongs. The problem is, the baby doesn't see it, so it throws a tantrum, upset that it's not working out the way it hoped. You are that baby, trying to force outcomes and results from a misaligned frequency. This is how most people treat their reality too. They get upset with the universe or at themselves for not manifesting their desired result, not realizing that being frustrated keeps them locked in lower frequencies that prevent them from collapsing the walls of the maze and exiting into lifelines that reflect what they actually prefer. So the real question becomes, how do you shift your perspective? Obviously, a baby is, well, a baby, so it's expected that it doesn't have the cognitive development yet to understand nuance, but you do because you're a conscious being. And awareness of this one critical factor is the equivalent of the baby finally realizing the right hole is right beside it. The number one most important energetic shift that allows you to transurf realities is the frequency of reduced importance. Anything you desire, whatever it may be, must be given low importance. Whether it's the money you want to earn, the dream house or car or vacation, the perfect clients ready to buy now, or the love you've been desperately chasing, low importance collapses the space between where you are now and the version of you already living in abundance. Importance is the root cause of all imbalance in life. Why? Because the universe operates on energetic equilibrium. Anytime you assign too much significance to anything you desire, you distort that balance and create what is called excess potential. Excess potential is the accumulation of negative energy that contrasts the flow of what you're trying to create. Those energetic distortions trigger balancing forces to neutralize the very thing you want, because the universe is always seeking neutrality. Balancing forces have no choice but to create space between you and your manifestations. Anytime you place something on a pedestal, you push it away. And even if you somehow acquire what you desperately desire, it will come with a tremendous cost, whether it's your sanity, your soul, your mental health, your relationships, or even your life itself. You always know intuitively when you're assigning too much importance, because you're dependent on the outcome to feel good about yourself. And here's a prime example almost all of us have lived through. You meet someone you're really attracted to and you fall in love. Because you feel attached to them, you place them on a pedestal, assigning all kinds of importance to what this relationship means to you. You start clinging, desperate for their validation, needing them to fulfill an image you created in your own mind that doesn't match who they actually are. And before you know it, the relationship falls apart. Conflicts intensify, trust collapses, and you're forced to separate because the negative excess potential was seeking to bring back neutrality into your universe. And there are many other versions of this that permeate across all categories of your human experience. So the frequency shift that takes your desires off the pedestal and puts them back in their rightful place is to make your goals and desires normal. They're natural. They're obvious outcomes of who you are. Think about that. If you were already in a loving relationship, already making an exceptional income, already living your dream life, would you need affirmations to convince yourself of it? Would you need to remind God or the universe every morning in your journal that you're praying for abundance? No, of course not. You're already abundant. It's natural. It's familiar. You experience it every day. That is the mindset you must embody. You need to think and feel as if you already had everything you wanted and then act accordingly. Because the version of you that has already received your manifestations is calm, confident, and familiar with the feeling of abundance. Treat everything you desire the same way you treat getting your mail. When you go to the mailbox, do you chant affirmations to hype yourself up? Do you have an existential crisis if there's nothing inside? Of course not. I mean, maybe some of you guys will, but you know it's coming. Maybe not today, maybe it's coming tomorrow, but you know it's coming for sure. That's how you collapse the time space between where you are now and the version of you that already has it. From this frequency, the walls of the maze begin to fall. You step into a frequency that's less reactive, less dependent on needing your desire, and paradoxically, that's what makes them want you. Over time, as you embody this frequency more deeply, you begin attracting synchronicities, opportunities, and experiences that mirror your preferred reality. Exceptional outcomes stop being the goal and become the byproduct of your natural state. And let me be clear on this too. This doesn't mean that you become careless or detached from life. You're still intentional about your goals and happy to fall in love with someone that you're excited about. And you're still ruthless with your execution and your habits, but you're carefree in how you move through reality. Now, you relax into the knowingness that God and the universe are guiding you in perfect synchronicity, and you never have to force what is truly meant for you. You don't take delays as personal indications that you're doing something wrong. You don't make mistakes or setbacks mean something about your worth. It's just a detour, and you trust the universe knows exactly where to guide you. It really is that simple. You just forgot. You neglected this intuitive soul-level peace because of insidious forces that feed on your negative energy. These entities exist purely to harvest your focus and life force. Until you see them clearly and withdraw your consent, everything will continue to feel like a big deal, and the walls of the maze will stand taller than ever. You must regain your sovereignty from pendulums. Pendulums are invisible energy structures created by the collective thoughts, emotions, and behaviors of groups of people. They're like living entities, feeding on human energy to keep themselves alive. Whenever people emotionally focus on the same idea, a pendulum is born, and they are all around you all the time. Governments, politicians, news outlets, sports teams, religions, celebrity culture, universities, social movements, corporations, influencers, even personal relationships and family dynamics. All of them are pendulums. Now, in truth, not all pendulums are negative. Some are positive and give you a net positive energy exchange. You feel more aligned, confident, and inspired after engaging with them. This video itself is a positive pendulum, but make no mistake, the vast majority of pendulums only exist to give you a net negative energy exchange, even if you're not aware of it. Negative pendulums seek to distract and divide you, and in the process, they harvest your emotional energy while keeping you stuck in a distorted worldview. You can always tell when a pendulum is feeding on your energy. If you feel emotionally triggered, trapped in fear, guilt, or shame because of something happening in the world, you are caught in a pendulum. If you find yourself perpetually defending or arguing about something, and you get aggressive when your point of view is challenged, you're in a pendulum. If you lose sight of your goals and get swept up in collective movements that don't actually serve you, you are in a pendulum. And here's why this is so dangerous, especially as a conscious soul. Unless you're consciously aware of where your energy and focus are being directed, you have no idea who's controlling you. Think about that. All collective pendulums, especially at the highest levels, weaponize this energetic transaction against you. The news pumps fear and hysteria to keep viewers emotionally hooked. Politicians manufacture enemies to rally support, and their opponents do the exact same thing, even though behind closed doors they're all on the same team. Luxury brands engineer emotional triggers by creating false exclusivity, making you feel like you're missing out on something if you don't own a certain item. But in reality, a Balenciaga shirt is the same as a Walmart shirt. It's not about the product, it's the emotional hook that gets you stuck in the loop. Now, why am I elaborating on this so extensively? Because if you're constantly triggered, upset, or chasing validation, you're deferring your spiritual power to the pendulums, and this creates negative access potential in your reality because you unconsciously assign importance to things that aren't actually a big deal. Here's a prime example. I've used this on stage before to show how deeply pendulums infiltrate our subconscious minds and how easily we parrot ideas without even questioning them. If you can finish these sentences, you've been programmed to believe that money is difficult to get or bad to have. Money doesn't grow on trees. A penny saved is a penny earned. A fool and his money are soon departed. Money is the root of all evil. Now pause and actually question them. Do they actually make any sense? Money is made out of paper, and paper comes from trees, so it literally grows on trees. A penny is a penny no matter how many you have, they're just not worth that much. And sure, fools make poor financial decisions. But how many successful and rich people have you seen or met who are clearly unintelligent, yet they have more money than they can ever spend? And money isn't evil, it's neutral. It's just pieces of paper and numbers on a screen. These are all pendulums, collective thought forms designed to create importance around money and distort your relationship with it. That distortion creates negative access potential, and balancing forces push it away. And you're left worried, anxious, and stressed about your future abundance, or the lack of it. Until you withdraw your consent from these emotional and mental loops, you'll continue to sabotage your own abundance, not just financially, but in every area of life that matters. So how do you still the sway of the pendulums so they can no longer harvest your energy? This is a critical question because you can't escape them completely. Unless you go live in a mountain, in a cave, or in a temple with the monks away from society, pendulums will always be nearby. To regain control over your reality, you must practice indifference. Indifference is the ability to remain neutral, emotionally balanced amid external stimuli. And it's not the same as apathy. Apathy is low vibration, rooted in fear and shame. Conscious indifference is high frequency. It's the deliberate choice to acknowledge the existence of pendulums, but refuse to play their game. You can stay aware of collective events and movements, but you don't give them your energy, or at the very least, you think your own thoughts and decode what's happening through your own lens instead of the collective trance. A frequency of indifference is the natural extension of reduced importance. It grounds your manifestations from the spiritual and mental realms into the physical world, allowing you to act effectively and create results that reflect what you truly prefer. And the truth is, you already know how to do this on an intuitive level. But because we're programmed out of this frequency by our surroundings, our parents, teachers, and society, etc., our multidimensional state atrophies over time, the same way muscles weaken when you stop training them. As they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. Awareness and indifference give you clarity, the ability to see through reality without being manipulated by it. You stop being knocked off balance whenever pendulums or balancing forces try to sabotage your manifestations. You begin accessing divine discernment, the intuitive knowing that tells you when something isn't serving you at the highest levels. You start noticing the subtle synchronicities that the universe places in front of you that align with your unique soul's blueprint. And this is pivotal in your journey because once you start to see through reality clearly, you'll start realizing how unseen pendulums and misplaced importance have made you chase goals that were never yours to begin with. Goals born from collective programming, expectations engineered by society, doors you were never meant to walk through, yet did because the pendulums convinced you that that was success. Reality transurfing at the most grounded levels is about pursuing goals and opening doors that are meant for you. Not every goal you pursue is your goal. Not every door you walk through is meant for you. The less importance you assign to your manifestations, and the more you free yourself from the influence of pendulums, something very interesting begins to happen. You start questioning why you even want what you desire. And most people never stop to even think about that. It's rare to be the kind of conscious being who's willing to strip away who they are in order to uncover who they are genuinely meant to be. It takes patience, honesty, and soul-deep courage to peel back the layers of the ego. If you've been in that process for some time, even though it's massively uncomfortable, Even though sometimes it feels like everything is falling apart, I acknowledge you. You're one of the chosen ones. I go deeper into this in my last video titled, "It Took Me 14 Years to Finally Break Through the Illusion of Reality." Go back and watch that one when you're done here. It'll give you a deeper lens for what I'm about to explain. Because the process of dismantling your ego is beautifully liberating and terrifying at the exact same time. Why? Because at a soul level, you realize this entire experience of reality is a game, and you can do whatever you want with it. That realization gives you freedom, the permission to stop seeking approval, to stop living for other people's expectations. But it also removes the illusion of structure your mind once used to feel safe in. Suddenly, you're staring into the abyss, into the infinite possibilities, realizing everything is made up. We're all just assigning meanings to events and circumstances as we try to navigate this disorienting third-dimensional experience, even though we are multidimensional souls at our core. And yet, through this realization, you begin to discern in real time whether certain goals and doors are truly meant for you. Let me explain. The overarching problem is that pendulums impose goals on us that we never consciously agree to. Your parents told you to go to school, get a degree, get a nice stable job because that's what they were told. And that works for some people, sure, but for most conscious souls, it often feels like a slow death. Society tells you that in order to be celebrated and admired, you need to be rich, successful, and beautiful, and to prove your worth. And the list of stereotypes and expectations that pendulums deploy on all of us is inexhaustible. It's exhausting to even try to fit into them. The truth is, pendulums got you to pursue alien goals. And most people never stop to ask themselves what they actually want. I've seen it countless times. Someone tells me that they want to manifest more money, but when I ask them why, the deeper truth always surfaces. They don't actually care about the luxury cars or the status symbols. That's all pendulum talk. What they really want is freedom. The freedom to live life on their own terms with nothing holding them back. To know deep down that they'll never have to worry about survival ever again. That's the real goal. But they get stuck chasing the wrong versions of abundance, hyper-focused on their lack of money, blind to all of the other forms of abundance already available to them. The abundance of peace, the abundance of health, the abundance of confidence, the abundance of love, creativity, and communication, the abundance of imagination, the divine access to your inner genius. And here's the higher truth. You don't need money to embody any of these frequencies. And even deeper than that is that alignment with these frequencies actually creates an abundance of money. It's totally paradoxical, but makes perfect sense when you finally zoom out. High importance and subservience to pendulums blind people to this. They become trapped in lifelines of defeat, self-sabotage, and comparison, believing they have to fight for success. They repeat mantras like, if you want to be successful, you have to earn your place in life. But in doing so, they serve alien goals, crushing themselves under the pressure to belong. Alien goals come with a sense of obligation, meaning that you must accomplish X or else. If I don't achieve this, then I'm lesser than. If I don't hit this milestone, I've failed. Your soul's true goals don't feel like that. They feel natural. There's a lightness and effortless sensation to them. The journey itself is the most rewarding part, and the high-level outcomes are the secondary effect. Even when challenges arise, there's not that sticky friction and resistance that feels insurmountable. It feels like an opportunity to deepen self-mastery and practice resourcefulness in the pursuit of your heart's desires. You'll have the energy to see it through. That's how you know it's yours. Pay attention to that feeling of heaviness. If a goal feels like you're dragging a boulder up a hill, it's not meant for you. As you align with the goals your soul actually desires, and you stop obsessing over outcomes, new doors will begin to appear. Doors that open effortlessly, guiding you to the experiences that match your highest frequency. And just like with goals, most doors are alien to your soul's natural path. That's why the strategy for success never actually matters. It's always the consciousness of the person applying it. Upon hearing this, you can relax and ignore all of the hustle gurus telling you that they have the one secret strategy for success, because they don't have it and there isn't one, except for the spiritual mastery of self. Doors that are meant for you don't require you to break them down. You'll know you're at the wrong door when it feels suffocating, like every step is costing you a piece of your soul. When you have that trapped, claustrophobic feeling that says something isn't right, that is your signal. If you find yourself at the wrong door, turn around and choose another one. There are infinite possibilities in the space of variations that will get you to where you want to go. You don't have to keep banging on the wrong door until you break yourself. You always have the right to choose your path. And the right door is never far. It's usually right next to the one you've been trying to force, waiting for you to listen to your intuition. The right doors feel light. They feel exciting, even if you're uncertain about where the path leads. They make you come alive and turn your experience into an infinite sandbox of possibility. No one has the authority to tell you your path is incorrect, no matter how absurd it may sound to them, because the doors that hold your greatest abundance only open for you. Only your soul carries the key that fits the lock. The wave of good fortune only arrives when you reduce importance, free yourself from pendulums, and stop living for the approval of others. And that really is the cheat code to transurfing realities of abundance and freedom. I see so many people beat themselves into the ground because they feel unworthy, convinced that they're doing something wrong. And then they turn to manifestation gimmicks, desperate for validation that their life matters. But the truth is so simple. When you pursue goals and walk through doors aligned with your soul's path, failure becomes impossible. You never have to worry about when or where your manifestations will come from when you're playing your own game. This is how you glide into lifelines where everything you desire is naturally accessible. The money, the love, the success, the recognition, etc. They all arrive without you sacrificing yourself for them. Resources and synchronicities flow to those who trust themselves completely and are unapologetically authentic. Pendulums no longer bother you because you've broken their spell. In fact, they begin to elevate you to higher levels of reality because you've transcended their game and become untouchable. From this perspective, all manifestations become effortless byproducts of who you are being and the frequency you embody. You literally transcend timelines that feel pleasurable and exciting into realities where success and peace coexist. And suddenly, the goals you once chased become inevitable outcomes, because nothing can knock you off balance when you're in perfect harmony with yourself. Embody these truths, and the baby finally places the square block in the square hole where it belonged the entire time. The walls of the maze collapse, and you awaken in a reality you were meant to live all along.